It all started with a question from a curious 4.5-year-old named Kira. She looked up at the sky one afternoon and asked her dad, "What if I built a building with 1 billion stories?" At first, her dad smiled. A cute question from a little girl with big dreams. But then he paused and thought, what if we took that question seriously? What if you actually tried? And just like that, we're off on an epic journey of imagination, engineering, and the limits of what's possible. Let's begin small. We already build tall buildings, skyscrapers with 100 floors or more. What if you stacked one skyscraper on top of another? You'd get a mega tower, 10,000 floors high. That's tall enough to scrape the edge of space. But here's the first problem: gravity doesn't play nice. What if your building was made out of jello? You could build a tiny jello tower, but make it too tall, and the weight smushes it into goo. Real buildings do the same thing, just slower and with more groaning steel. Eventually, the top squashes the bottom, and poof, your dream tower becomes a leaning, collapsing disaster. But let's say you solve that. What if you used ultra-strong materials? What if you reinforced the structure and kept going? Now you're facing the wind. Up high, winds are so strong they can rock a building back and forth like a boat on stormy seas. What if your skyscraper became a sail? The taller it is, the more it catches the wind, and it could start to twist, bend, or even snap. And then there are elevators. What if your building needed 1,000 elevators? You'd need entire floors just for switching between them. Eventually, your tower is just a tangle of elevator shafts, with no space left for people. Still, let's dream bigger. Stack 100 skyscrapers. Now you have a mega skyscraper. Stack 100 of those. Welcome to the mega skyscraper. At this height, satellites start swerving to avoid you. Space junk becomes a real threat. Tiny pieces of metal flying at 17,000 miles per hour. What if a bolt hit your building at that speed? It would tear through steel like a bullet through paper. But Kira wants 1 billion stories. So let's go higher. Stack 100 mega skyscrapers. Now we're in mega skyscraper territory. So tall, the top almost brushes against the moon. Now we're facing a whole new problem: centrifugal force. The Earth spins, and the higher you go, the more it flings you outward. What if your building got so tall that it started to launch itself off the planet? Just like a swing at the fair, except the ride doesn't stop. At a certain height, way past geostationary orbit, gravity and spin balance out. Let go of something, and it won't fall. It'll float. Let go a little higher, and it flies into space. Your skyscraper is no longer pressing down like jello. It's trying to rip itself up by the roots and take off. But we're still not done. Even this unimaginable structure is only 1,000,000 floors. To reach 1 billion, you'd have to stack 10 mega skyscrapers. Behold the Kira skyscraper. At the top, you'd be going faster than the Earth orbits the sun. What if you opened a window? Your pencil wouldn't drop. It might leave the solar system. And if a loose panel or cable broke off? What if it flew into the stars and landed on another planet one day? We'll never know. But we do know this. The Kira skyscraper would be nearly impossible to build, too dangerous to survive, and far beyond what humanity has ever attempted. And yet, what if someone like Kira years from now asks that same question again? What if she becomes an engineer, an architect, a dreamer, and decides to try? Maybe we won't build 1 billion-story tower. But what if we build a space elevator instead? What if we make orbital cities? What if we reach the stars? And maybe, just maybe, one day, someone really will open a window and drop a satellite into the galaxy from the top of their tower. Because every big idea starts with a simple, impossible question. Just like Kira's. So, what do you think? Could we build a tower that tall one day? What if you could be the one to help make it happen? Hit the like button if this blew your mind. Subscribe to join the journey of tackling impossible questions and discovering what lies beyond the edge of the possible. And leave a comment below. What would your 1 billion-story building look like? What if you could design it? Let's imagine the impossible together.